A brutal schedule awaits Billy Napier and the Florida Gators in what is undoubtedly a pivotal year for his tenure in Gainesville. These are 3 bold predictions for the upcoming 2024 Florida football season. Hello, everyone. I'm Chris Phillips of SEC Unfiltered. Appreciate each and every single one of you tuning in. Be sure to hit that like and subscribe button on YouTube. Hit that bell icon as well so you get notifications of when we go live and when we drop new video content, which is each and every single day. Also, guys, be sure to check out the podcast, which drops daily on iTunes, Spotify, Google Podcasts, wherever you get your podcasts. You can also find us on social media, X, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, wherever you get your content. And of course, guys, check out our website over at SECUnfiltered.com for all the latest from us. The following is brought to you by our friends, guys, over at MyBookie. You've waited and watched all year as your team rose to the top or fell to the bottom, but now it's your turn to win big. You've heard the name just about everywhere, MyBookie. They're the industry's leading online sportsbook and casino, and it's not hard to understand why. With thousands of lines to bet on all your favorite sports, NFL, NBA, March Madness, college football, etc., MMA, soccer, they've got all the latest odds, period. Take advantage of MyBookie's prop builder and live in-game betting, where every single run, throw, and touchdown is another chance for you to put cash in your pocket. Guys, visit their mobile-friendly website today at mybookie.ag and get your first deposit matched halfway up to $1,000 by just using the promo code SECU when you make that first deposit. Again, guys, that's mybookie.ag, promo code SECU, a 50% deposit match up to $1,000 on that first deposit. Guys, the best part is this too. They make it simple with a variety of ways to deposit instantly, including credit card, bank transfer, Bitcoin, and more. Guys, whether you're at home or on the go, on your laptop or on your phone, it's not too late to make your New Year's resolution a resolution to get paid. Bet, win, and get paid at MyBookie. A pivotal year 3 for Billy Napier awaits in the 2024 college football season. These are 3 bold predictions for the Florida Gators entering the 2024 season. Guys, we'll start my first bold prediction. And guys, when I say bold prediction, these are not necessarily predictions that I am locking in right now, but these are predictions that could happen. And obviously, we're trying to go out on a limb here, right? Emphasis on the bold predictions. So, number 1 is this, and this might be the most bold prediction of them all. My first bold prediction for Billy Napier and the Florida Gators in 2024 is that Florida finally gets things figured out on special teams. For whatever reason, special teams has been a nightmare for Billy Napier's Florida Gators since he took over in Gainesville. And it may have something to do with the fact that for whatever reason, Billy Napier, is there not an emphasis put on special teams? There's not a real special teams coordinator that is actually in place, right? Billy Napier, the only college football coach who has 2 offensive line coaches, but no special teams coach, right? And you've seen, guys, we've talked about before with Florida, the first 2 years of Billy Napier. And here's the problem, right? Year 1, hey, you can get away with dumb things. You can get away with silly mistakes because it's year 1. It's a brand new program. You just took over. All of your terminology and your culture and everything you've got going on, right? It's brand new. So there's going to be some bumps in the road. There's going to be some hiccups early. Even at a place like Florida, I think the fans are understanding of that. But when you go into year 2, and it's game 1 of year 2, and it's a nationally televised game, everyone's watching, and you've got 2 players wearing the same number jersey. When you've got something as silly as that happening, and then when you go throughout the season in year 2, and you've got silly, dumb mistakes, flat out dumb mistakes costing you in ball games, right? Special teams is that thing that nobody cares about and nobody talks about until it costs you ball games. And that's why we're starting off with it right here, right? I think this is going to be one of those things, guys. Isn't it interesting how when we spend so long talking about one thing and zeroing in on one thing, and it's like it's this known commodity. We know for sure this is going to happen, right? Like death taxes and Florida's going to be bad on special teams. Like that's a given in 2024. It will not surprise me if after all of the noise for months and months and months, maybe, just maybe, Billy Napier and company hear the noise. They take the constructive criticism, they take the feedback, and guess what? Special teams not only gets figured out, but dare I say, becomes a strength for the Florida Gators this fall. Again, these are bold predictions for a reason. This might be the most bold of all, but I think Florida will figure things out. I think they could figure them out on special teams. And at minimum, guys, not saying being one of the best in the country, but at minimum, eliminate some of those stupid mistakes we saw haunt Florida all season long last year and really throughout the first 2 years of Billy Napier's tenure. Because, guys, it's one thing when you look at this schedule, more on that in a second. It's one thing to go 6-6 or 7-5 or what have you. It's another to do that while also shooting yourself in the foot on special teams. Billy Napier cannot afford another season of that. I will not be surprised if they get that corrected and at least turn that into not an eyesore of the football program. Guys, my second bold prediction for the Florida Gators in 2024, quarterback Graham Mertz, who was one of the biggest surprises, positive surprises, if you will, of the 2023 season. Graham Mertz will eclipse 3,000 yards passing in 2024. Guys, he was only 100 yards away from this last year, right? And also suffered an injury late in season. If he doesn't do that, he probably does hit 3,000. So maybe this isn't a crazy take, crazy bold, if you will. 2,903 yards passing. Last year had 20 total touchdowns, 3 interceptions. And guys, again, I got to raise my hand and take accountability because I was someone, I didn't just doubt Graham Mertz. I thought Graham Mertz was going to be downright no good at all. I thought he was going to stink. When it came to SEC quarterback rankings over the summer last year, I had Graham Mertz 14th. I'll admit that. I'll wear that. I'll hold that L. Because Graham Mertz, not only was he not the worst quarterback in the SEC, he was top half of the league. And I don't care what anybody else says, right? There's going to be people that try to discredit what he does because Graham Mertz, prepare yourself for this one. Graham Mertz, to me, was very similar to Brady Cook. Very similar to Brady Cook from Missouri. It's not overly flashy, right? Graham Mertz isn't overly flashy. He's not going to do anything that wows you. He's not going to be at the top of draft boards or anything crazy like that. But you looked up late season, 20 touchdowns to 3 picks. And you can win with that, guys. You can win with that. 20 touchdowns to 3 picks. Did a great job running the offense. Didn't put Florida in bad positions. Had that one, huge game against South Carolina in that offensive shootout. But for the most part, just did what Florida needed him to do. Did what they asked him to do. I think he's going to build on that season from last year. I think he eclipses 3,000 yards. I think Graham Mertz continues to prove the doubters wrong. I think he's going to have a really nice season for Florida. I also think he's going to have to do it because you lose Trevor Etienne to Georgia, right? You lose Trevor Etienne. And so I think there's going to be even more of an emphasis on the passing game. So I think Graham Mertz, in a year in which he'll probably throw the football a little bit more. But I also think, too, what last year did for him in regards to confidence, building off that, I think Graham Mertz will eclipse that 3,000-yard passing mark. My third and final bold prediction for the Gators in 2024. And we've mentioned that schedule, guys. That schedule is a gauntlet. Now, this bold prediction doesn't revolve around the month of November, but I want to make a little bit of a side note here. We could turn this into a whole other video. Is Florida's November slate the most difficult November slate in college football history? And the Gators, hey, They do get a bye week before the month of November, but guys, listen to this schedule. This is Florida's November this year. Georgia in Jacksonville, and the world's largest outdoor cocktail party. Yes, I still call it that. I hope you do as well. Georgia in Jacksonville. At Texas, LSU, Ole Miss, at Florida State. Georgia, at Texas, LSU, Ole Miss, at Florida State. That's insane. Now, back to your originally scheduled programming. My third and final bold prediction isn't about that, but when you look at this schedule, my third and final bold prediction for Florida football this year is this. The Gators will enter the month of October undefeated. Why is that such a bold take, guys? Because when you think about what Florida's over-under win total is in Vegas, it's 5.5. I'm telling you that Florida is going to be 4-0 going into October, going into the second month of the season. And it's doable. Now, again, I'm not locking in like my predictions will come out middle of the summer. These are not my official predictions. But you look at what Florida has in the month of September and also August 31st. Of course, they play Miami. But before the month of October, you got Miami at home, Samford, Texas A&M. Those are all at home. And then at Mississippi State. Miami, Samford, Texas A&M, 3 straight home games to open at Mississippi State. Is it bold? Yes. I don't think it's crazy, though, to say that Florida could start this season off 4-0. Samford's a kick and win. Miami, what are they? That game's in the swamp. Texas A&M's got a first-year head coach. That game's in the swamp. And then at Mississippi State with a first-year head coach in Jeff Lebby, and I think most of us expect they're not going to be very good. So even after this, we're going to be spending all summer talking about Billy Napier's a dead man walking. He's got no chance. The Gators are destined to go 4-8, 5-7, what have you. I don't think it's crazy. If they can beat Miami in week 1, I don't think it's crazy to say that Florida could go into the month of October undefeated. So again, my 3 bold predictions for Florida in the 2024 college football season are these. Number 1, Florida finally figures it out on special teams. Number 2, Graham Mertz eclipses 3,000 yards passing. And number 3, the Gators enter the month of October undefeated. Guys, it's going to do it all for me. Appreciate each and every single one of you tuning in. Be sure to hit that like and subscribe button on YouTube. Hit that bell icon as well so you get notifications of when we go live and when we drop new video content, which is each and every single day. Also, guys, check out the podcast. It drops daily. iTunes, Spotify, Google Podcasts, wherever you get your podcasts. You can also find us on social media, X, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, wherever you get your content. And, of course, guys, check out our website, SECUnfiltered.com, for all the latest from us. Until next time, guys, I'm Chris Phillips of SEC Unfiltered. Appreciate you all tuning in, and we'll catch you on the other side.